While all eyes are glued to Diddy's trial, folks seem to be missing the bigger picture because this is no longer just about Diddy. The whole industry is shaking, and a few powerful names are sweating bullets behind the scenes. Jaguar Wright just stepped in, and baby, she's flipping this entire case upside down with tapes, testimonies, and receipts that the public wasn't ready for. Let's back up. Diddy is already on trial, but Jaguar is making sure we look beyond the man himself. Because, according to her, this entire mess runs much deeper. She's calling out accomplices, shady connections, and cover-ups that have been hiding in plain sight. And one of the biggest names she's dragging out is Bryce Shear Gray, the former Empire star whose life took a tragic left turn after he allegedly crossed paths with Diddy and Will Smith. Jaguar's not new to this fight. She's been on Diddy's case for years, and now that he's officially on trial, she's stormed in with never-before-seen tapes that reportedly show Diddy with Bryce Shear when he was just 17. And if that wasn't shocking enough, she claims Will Smith was involved too. According to Jaguar, Bryce was supposed to be a rising star. He had the talent, the look, the energy. But instead of mentorship, he got thrown into the industry's darkest corners. His then-manager, Charlie Mack, allegedly handed him over to Diddy and Will for a mentorship program, but what actually happened, Jaguar says, was more like a horror story. She claims they took turns assaulting him and then passed him around the industry like he was nothing. It gets worse. She says Bryce and Meek Mill were once heard running from Will Smith's house naked, screaming for help. Neighbors reportedly heard it, and Jaguar says it's because these so-called mentorship freak-offs went on for hours, leaving them drifting in and out of consciousness. It was chaos behind closed doors, all under the guise of grooming young stars for greatness.
Both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bryshere Gray.
And remember, Cassie admitted in her lawsuit that Diddy's freak-offs could last up to 4 days. So yeah, when Jaguar mentioned what happened to Bryce, people believed her. These young men were being thrown into traumatic situations and expected to stay silent in exchange for a chance at fame. Jaguar didn't stop there. She accused Charlie Mack of being the link between Bryce and these predators, but the most gut-wrenching part? She says Bryce's own mother, Andrea Mayberry, was in on it. According to Jaguar, she allowed her son to be exploited for a book deal and fake fame, turning him into bait for powerful men while ignoring his ADHD and bipolar disorder. That is horrifying. She didn't just throw the mother under the bus, she parked the bus and ran it over again. Downward spiral is well documented. After his time with Empire, he basically disappeared from the spotlight. Legal issues started popping up. In 2020, his wife, yes, surprise, he was married, was seen running to a gas station for help, claiming Bryce had strangled her. The police arrived, and Bryce locked himself in his house. It took hours and a SWAT team to get him out.
One of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight, we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had her for hours inside their Goodyear home.
His mugshot? Devastating. The once bright-eyed star looked broken, a far cry from the young man who was supposed to conquer Hollywood. In 2022, he was arrested again for assaulting another woman, this time someone he was casually seeing. All these run-ins with the law, the mental breakdowns, it all started to make sense when Jaguar filled in the missing pieces. She says Bryce was preparing to file a lawsuit against Diddy and Will. We're talking a $50 million bombshell, but just before he could go through with it, he allegedly got threatened. Jaguar claims his life was in danger and he backed out. But the tapes didn't disappear. No, she made sure to deliver them straight to the prosecutors. Even though the court didn't allow the tapes to be played publicly, the prosecutors now have them, and they're reportedly moving to subpoena Bryce so he can testify. This could blow the case wide open. And let's be real, Diddy's camp is probably scrambling right now. Jaguar showed up to the courthouse with bodyguards, fully aware she's become a target. But she's not backing down. She says Diddy's downfall won't be an isolated event. According to her, this will be a reckoning for the entire music industry. She's naming names, calling out record execs, publicists, handlers, and even mothers who sold their kids for fame. And she's making sure people know this isn't new behavior. She said if authorities had properly investigated the R. Kelly case back then, Diddy's crimes would have been exposed years ago.
I do believe there's going to be a lot of curveballs. I do believe there's going to be a lot of interesting things. And what I will say is, be vigilant. We're getting started.
Is this a reckoning for the music industry?
Oh, it needs to be. And if it wasn't, I hope my presence starts that.
Now, about that alleged tape Jaguar mentioned, she says there's a freak-off video featuring Justin Bieber, Jaden Smith, Diddy, Will, and Bryce. Yes, all of them in one scene. And while this hasn't been confirmed, Jaguar swears it exists and that it's being kept secret to keep everyone from filing lawsuits or speaking out. She claims it's being used as leverage to silence victims and shield predators. And baby, if that tape ever sees daylight, the entire industry is finished. We're talking mass panic, legacy careers gone in a heartbeat, and a complete breakdown of the Hollywood power structure.
So he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
What makes Jaguar so dangerous to these people is that she doesn't care about fame or money. She's not trying to sell a book or land a Netflix doc. She wants justice, plain and simple. She's already said she won't stop until every last person involved is held accountable. And the public? Oh, they're finally listening. One comment read, "What they did to him was horrific and wrong. He should reclaim his life, seek justice, get mental help, compensation, and rise like a phoenix." Another person wrote, "Jag has bigger balls than all the men who have ruled the world unchecked. All the parents who sold their child's soul for fame will reap what they have sown." People are finally waking up to how deep the rot goes in the entertainment world. This isn't just about Diddy or even Bryce. It's about a system that profits from silence, fear, and the destruction of innocence. But with people like Jaguar stepping up, those days may finally be numbered. So what do you think? Will Bryce Shear finally testify? Will the tapes come out? And is this the reckoning the music industry has been running from for decades? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe, because if you think this is over, you're not even close. The real storm is just beginning.